Okay. Welcome to the Leading the Way podcast. We are your hosts, Maza Zimmerman and J. Alvarado.
And on this show, we take a look at life through the lens of leadership. Right?
Yes.
Thanks for joining us today. And all right, so before we get started, how you feeling? How you doing?
I'm a little tired, I'll be honest. Long weekend, long last week, long this week, and it's only Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a little tired, but I'm functional and still getting everything done.
Yeah.
Semi on time.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I'm tired. What about you?
I'm exhausted. Yeah. I can't wait to sleep again. It'd be great. Yeah.
That'll hopefully be today. It's
Hopefully. Yeah. But I'm tired. It's good. A lot of work, but it's good. It's all worth it.
Yeah, this is your third week now?
No, this is like fourth week of being in the classroom.
Oh, wow. Time flies.
Yeah. So it's getting there. So I'm learning who my good kids are, who my not so good kids. That's not they're not good, but I guess so. I wanted to talk about that later, but we talk about that. Ooh, you can hear that the new facial hair coming in. You can hear it. I'm trying not to do it. Anyway,
He didn't have a beard last time.
I did not. Yeah. So I had a question for you, right? To get us started here. Do you have any obstacles that you kind of faced this week that kind of threw you off or made you, think on your feet a bit?
Okay. Yes, I did, but I'm going to say not necessarily. I'll say it's only Wednesday, right? And
Okay.
so,
Or, okay, since the last time we recorded, how's that?
so yes. So I got an email out of nowhere because we're going out of the summertime and we're going into the fall now where business automatically drops, a certain percent, about 5% in sales. And so you've been basically working through the summer, just kind of cruising on your numbers and your parameters and everything is pretty much good. And then you hit literally after Labor Day or whatever, the date is, and business just drops. And so I got an email and it was like, hey, we need to make kind of like sudden changes. We need to do this. And I was supposed to be on a vacation day, which I was. But my mind just kind of works. I'm always doing kind of every part of what I do at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of caught me off guard and put me just right. And that's why I shouldn't have looked at the email. But I did. I looked at the email while on vacation.
Gotcha.
And it got my mind spinning.
Just got in there.
It got in there. And then I came back to work. And whenever I take a Monday off, and I feel like I've talked about this before, maybe like the first episode. Whenever I take a Monday off, Tuesday I always come in all discombobulated. Like
Gotcha.
I just come in between catching up and thinking today's Monday, but it's really Tuesday, my mind is just not right.
Is that it? Is it just the difference in time, or is it like
You're
starting
exactly that. It's
okay.
exactly the difference in time because my life, for the most part, works like a routine. And literally all the way down to the pocket I put my phone in, there have been times I was at work and I literally was looking for like 5-10 minutes for, say, my manager card or my phone.
Right.
Wrecking myself. Like, where is it? Where is it? And it's in a pocket I don't keep it in.
Gotcha. So
Because I don't have the best of memories. And so
just off your game.
Yeah. And so everything has a home. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a time that I do this. On Mondays, this is my routine. Tuesdays, this is my routine.
Right.
And sometimes when I get thrown off that routine, it's like wires everywhere. And you're trying to detangle and you're trying to get all this. And it usually takes me like a day or two to get myself back on track because I'm not used to taking vacation.
I kind of get like that too when coming back after you had a day off. But for me, it's not the confusion of the days of the time. For me, it's more like I feel like I'm behind I feel like, I should have had this stuff done yesterday. So now I have to do both. So I always feel like I'm rushing on the day that I come back.
Yeah.
That's always what's tough for me.
Yeah. And so that's, and then I just, of course, because of all of it, you have the mental, you're just tired.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted mentally because your mind is trying to catch up to where your body is right now.
Especially having a family. Sometimes a vacation is more tiring than being at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you have events, and my wife and I were just talking about that, our calendar is lined up every weekend. There is something, because there's a family member's birthday every single month of the year. And so there's always a birthday party, which you have to plan for and you have to get something for. And yeah. Sometimes you take a day off and it feels like you worked even more.
Right.
But I'm still grateful for the time off.
Yeah.
And I have learned to really appreciate and value off time just as much as on time, because it's all important.
See, for me, it's a little, I guess it's a little different because I'm in the classroom, right? So so I have to pause things or move things around. See, because for you, if you have a day off, there's still other people, the business is still going.
Yeah.
But for me, when I'm not there, class is done, right? So I find now I'm trying to plan out a lot of my lessons way ahead in advance. And when there's days off and stuff, I have to move things and separate it. And we have this weird thing where half the kids come on one day, half the kids come on another day. So it works out to where sometimes I'm teaching the same kids day after day, and they're going to get way ahead. So I have to figure out things to do. It just really throws me off having those days off.
I never thought of that. I never thought, because for me, I leave, say on weekends, right? I don't work weekends.
Right.
And on weekends, the business still functions. Things still get done for the most part. And if I'm not there, if someone needs to do, it gets done because I have a management team.
Yeah.
We work together. But for you, you leave, you close the door, that door is not opening until you open it again on Monday or Tuesday or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So everything is under your umbrella. Whereas for me, I hand that umbrella over to someone else and I say, go ahead, do what you got to do.
I mean, there are substitute teachers, but since I'm starting out and I'm a new teacher, I'm literally finishing up or making adjustments to a lot of my lesson plans the night before I teach them.
Yeah.
So there's no way I could send stuff to a substitute. Hey, take over. You know what I mean? So yeah, it kind of gets hard and just throws me off. So we had, for example, we're we're doing a fire drill, right?
Yeah.
This coming Friday. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to one of the other teachers and I'm like, so I have conference periods, right, where I don't have class. So I teach classes, but sometimes I get for planning, stuff like that, I can take care of things.
I need one of those.
Right. right. So I get a conference period. So I told another teacher, I said, I hope that fire drill happens during the conference period. And he's like, why? Wouldn't you want to do it in your class? I'm like, no, I don't want to lose class time because then I got to make it up somewhere else. I'd rather when I'm just sitting there, grading papers or whatever it is. But I just work differently. He thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I mean I have weekends off, which is really unheard of for those of who have earned
in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, in the restaurant industry, these
are the busiest days, the weekends.
Busiest days, especially as a GM.
Yeah.
You wait, what? And so when I talk about it to people that are also in that industry, they always look at me like I'm crazy. Wait, what do you mean you have weekends off? Yeah, I don't work weekends. We have sometimes once a period we go in and kind of observe for a few hours, but for the most part, I don't work weekends. GMs get weekends off. And sometimes I'll talk to another GM or another manager, and they're like, well, that's crazy. I'd want to work on the weekends. No, you wouldn't. You don't have to do that. I'm not interviewing you for a job.
Yeah.
You can say you don't want to work weekends.
Right.
That's fine. We know you have to do it.
Right.
But you can say, it's okay to say, yeah, I don't want to work weekends. That's just the schedule that they give me. So I'm working them.
Right.
I don't want to work weekends. That was the goal. And when I found out that, hey, GMs get weekends off, all right, that's outside of me wanting that position because I want it to be a GM.
Yeah.
That's a big incentive.
That's huge.
I don't have to work. Yeah. I have a family at home.
Because of a lot of industries, it's not even an issue, right? A lot of office jobs or whatever, they're all Monday through Friday. You don't think about it. But in the restaurant industry, no, not at all. I had the restaurant for 14 years and we're there every weekend. Yeah.
That's a third, whatever, of your sales.
It's huge.
That's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sundays, I'm at home with the family or out with the family.
Right.
You know, it's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's great now having, being able to spend all that time with my kids. It's great. It's it's important.
Yeah,
It's really important. Yeah.
absolutely. So episode 5. This is 5.
This is 5. Yeah.
This is 5.
Yeah.
Wow, it has been 4 episodes deep into this. 5 episodes deep into this now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I remember a time when this was just an idea in my head, and I had no direction, which way to go,
Yeah.
how I was going to do it, how I was going to build it, and it was kind of like a thought that was like, oh, it's a dream, but I don't even know where to start. And then I tried to start, and then I failed miserably, and then...
Well, I mean, I don't know about failed miserably. And you record, I heard, an episode.
It's something. It's on there.
Yeah.
I don't advertise it.
Right. Yeah.
It was basically me testing out sound and like a tech episode, like we did in our first run. It was a tech episode.
Yeah.
So that was basically what I was trying to do, was just let me see what this would actually sound like. Let's see if I can talk for 20 minutes. And I think it would end up being like 5.
Right.
And put it on Spotify, and all right, it's out there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, what do I do next? And I had no idea what to do next. And the editing, it took me to edit 5 minutes. It took me 2 days.
And that was just audio, right?
That was just audio.
Just audio. Yeah.
That was me opening up GarageBand for the second time in my life and trying to figure out how to edit, how to clip, how to add music,
right.
how to add, how to fade in, fade out. That's not my strength at all.
Yeah.
I don't speak that language.
Right.
And so that was, and then I don't want to talk about myself. Like, that was another thing. I didn't want to do this alone.
Right.
This wasn't a dream that I was the only one in the dream. I wanted to do this with someone or with people.
Yeah.
That's where I feel the best. That's where I feel the happiest, in a space collectively with other people that I want to be in the room with.
Yeah.
And just having good conversation. That was the birth of it all.
Why didn't you try? Did you ever reach out to anybody else to see if they wanted to do it with you?
So I did in the beginning. There were a few, and I wouldn't even say we started anything. There were a few ideas that came about of just talking to a few friends of mine.
Lots of yawns this episode, man.
I swear.
Lots of yawns.
Right? Talking to a few friends of mine and, kind of like, hey, we should start a podcast. And them having no idea, or me having no idea how to start one. Yeah, we should do it. And then that was the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
And then the next week is, yeah, we should still do that podcast. Yeah, we should do it. And that never really turned into anything. And so there was always, I had people where we can engage in really good conversation, but we have no idea how to do this or if we want to.
Yeah.
And it just didn't transpire to anything else other than that. And it was like, you'd be a great guest.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to have you on the podcast, but as far as us getting together as a unit,
co-hosting
starting this,
or something.
Co-hosting, it just wasn't going to be anything other than that.
So I tried twice, right? So I think the first time I tried, it was with my daughter. When I used to, back when she was in high school, it was a long drive. It took like an hour to get her to school, right? So I just said, hey, I'll just set up a microphone and we'll talk in the car. And it was just like us. It was called Us in Traffic, right? And it was just me and her having conversations throughout the day, as I took her to school. And it was a lot of fun. We did like one episode. It's great to listen to now. It's a great memory, but it didn't really go anywhere. And most of the time, being a teenager, she just wanted to sleep on the way to school. So that didn't go anywhere. And then I tried again. I have 2 older brothers. So we tried doing one, the 3 of us. I think it was during like the pandemic, right? When it was starting up, everybody was starting a podcast because you couldn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So we ordered some microphones for them off of like Amazon, and I taught them via Zoom how to hook up and connect. And we recorded 1, maybe 2 like test episodes. And again, it just kind of went nowhere. It's really hard to coordinate with my brothers. Like, someone couldn't do it, or it was just really tough. We would never get it in record, so it just kind of fell away. So that's what I mean. Like we talked about that, where it's something that we've both kind of wanted to do, but finding someone that we're comfortable, right? And there's that chemistry, that click there.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like the consistency, someone that's willing, this is episode number 5. Like, we've done this 5 times,
And that was a big thing for me. And that was the thing. I never had any doubt. Once we met and we had dialogue
Yeah.
on a consistent basis, because for a short amount of time we worked together.
Right.
Once I knew this is the guy.
Right.
Like, this is the person that I'm supposed to do this with.
Yeah.
I never had a doubt bringing it up to you.
Right.
And I did. And you were welcome. Yeah, let's do it. And from that moment, it just didn't stop.
Right.
From that moment, it was like, all right, let's find a location. All right, let's talk about this. All right, what is this going to be about? Okay, let's start. And it was literally from that moment on, it was just, we just kept going. And and we had plenty hiccups.
Yeah. I think we talked about that in one of the other episodes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're like,
plenty hiccups.
stuff kept getting delayed and things. But
and it was just like, all right, let's go. Let's go.
But there was still on either end, like we always knew it was going to happen.
It was never a moment where I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't going to happen.
Right, yeah.
It was always, hey, I met the person where this is going to happen and it's destined. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And of course, it took hard work and getting this together and being patient.
Right.
Because the process, you have to have a lot of patience within the process.
Yeah.
But 5 episodes deep.
Well, we were talking about that, we were texting about it where like you were thinking about like maybe we were postponing the recording today, because we're both super tired, but it's like, no.
I'm trying not to yawn as much as, I'm trying not to show that I'm yawning as much as I am,
right.
But I've yawned like 10 times in the last 1 minute.
Yeah.
I just keep my mouth closed.
Hey, but kudos to your wife, man. Like, great for her. So like you said, she gave you the motivation to come.
Yeah, I woke up this morning exhausted. And I think I texted you at like 5 a.m.
Something like that.
I get up early.
It was really early.
Yeah, I was at like 5 and I was like, hey.
I saw it and I'm like, I'll answer him later.
And I'm like, can we reschedule this? And in my mind, I felt guilty. Like, what am I doing? No, this is like the gym. You got to go. Even if you have to go. You may go, do it, doesn't work, but you have to go. And in my mind, but I was like, yeah, I just don't want to. And then I think I was on my way to work and my wife texts me and she goes, very simple. She didn't give me this long drawn out motivational speech. She just said, enjoy your podcast recording.
That's interesting.
That's all she said.
Yeah.
Just enjoy your podcast recording out of the blue.
Right.
I have to do it now. Like that was the little bit of motivation that I needed. That's all it was.
Maybe it was like
that one message.
Maybe it was like just that reminder, because I know you were tired.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of fun when we do this.
We do.
Because I was exhausted too. But now we're here, like, oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's great, and I don't no regrets at all.
Right. Yeah.
And from the minute I made my decision, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we're gonna record. All right, gotta go on. Gotta change. I gotta do this. Gotta do this. But that one text message, like, it's so important to have a team of people around you that support you, that encourage you, that want the best for you. Because sometimes, like we talked about it before, that boxer out in that ring, sometimes you get kind of beat up. Round 6 wasn't the best round.
Right.
Round 5 wasn't the best round. And you go back to your corner, and either you go back to a good trainer, good medic, good cut man, or you go back to not a good any of that, or you go back to nothing.
Right.
And you just kind of sit there and feel worse, and then try to come back and find another round. And I'm so grateful for the people, including you. I'm so grateful for the people that I have around me who are so. I had a friend of mine. He was a bit inebriated, but I have a friend of mine who sent me a long text about how much he loved me, and he was like, "Man, I love and I appreciate everything that you're doing, and I appreciate the support." Yeah. But it felt good. He was like, "I gotta admit, I've been drinking a little bit, but it's really from the heart." And then another best friend of mine sent me a text, had to be about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And was like, "I'm just so proud of where you are in your life, what you've been doing, and just keep going, because I am behind you 100%. And you need that.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing this and you're doing that, and you got a family at home, or you don't have a family at home, but you're just juggling a lot, it's a lot. And sometimes it's a lot on your shoulders, and sometimes the weight gets heavier than it is because it's been on your shoulders all day. I can sit here and hold a bottle of water for 5 minutes and it's fine. But if I hold that bottle of water for 6 hours, it's going to get heavy after a while. And sometimes you put stuff on your shoulders and it gets heavy after a while.
Yeah.
And it's, if you have a spotter, it does help the process. You have a corner of people who are looking out for you, who only want the best, who don't want you to get hurt, but understand that failure is a part of the process. It makes that process a lot
It's
easier.
important, I mean, having, support helps in motivation so much, because I've never been so good at like self-motivating, right? A lot of people can do like self-help or they'll do mantras or whatever to get them going, which may work for some people and it's great, but I've never been able to get that to work for me, So having, people that are supportive and on your side and like having a cheering section, right? That makes a huge difference. Yeah.
So what do you do? So you aren't always as good as self-motivating yourself.
Right. I'm still not. I have to say, like, it's still hard for me to get things done sometimes, just because, if I get a little overwhelmed, I tend to like take on a lot of projects at once, which gets really tough. But I don't know, for example, like now with teaching, right? For me, for some reason, it's like finding an old shoe and I fit into it really well. Like I don't have an issue, in the past, even when we worked together, sometimes, like on a Monday, I have to be there at 5:45 in the morning. It's like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you still feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. But now, it's like, I'm okay with it, so I get up really early, a lot of times before 6 a.m. and I'm totally fine with it. And I'm psyched and I'm ready to go and I'm totally motivated. And I think that's because of the type of job that it is, because I've been in leadership before, but it's always like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, because like kids are kind of forced to be there. So it is a captive audience, right? Versus someone that's there for a job. But I feel like I'm getting a lot out of it too, right? So when in the past, if I've had an employee, I mean, they're there for a paycheck, so I can try to help them out. And sometimes you make friends and you try to guide them, if you have like, if you become a mentor to someone and you can help to guide their life and stuff. But with kids, it's like, you can see a direct correlation, right? Because they're not fully formed adults yet. So the more advice or the more guidance you can give them now, you can see the change in them. And there's a much better, I don't know about much better, but the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
I would say with a kid. Because, if I'm mentoring someone at work, great, they might, work out, but they're already a fully formed adult. They already have their set views. They're good. Their life is pretty much set.
Yeah.
But a kid can completely change, by the time they're out of high school and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's what really motivates me. Just trying to, I guess it comes from parenting, it's like raising kids. Like I'm raising kids again. Well, not again, because I'm still raising kids, but it's like I'm raising more kids now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So there's more weight to it.
I had a mentor of mine one time said, the phrase, you dangle the carrot, and you're running towards the carrot.
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you like carrots?" And I said, "Cooked, raw, kind of, And I'm thinking, why are you asking me about carrots? He's like, "Do you like carrots? You've heard the phrase, dangle the carrot.
Yeah.
Everyone's running towards something. Like, do you like the carrot? So, do you like celery? Yeah, especially with ranch. Then dangle the celery." Like the journey.
So you like ranch with a little extra texture?
Yeah, I like celery with ranch, but like it matters.
Yeah.
You like teaching, right? You love teaching.
Yeah.
So getting up early, the journey process is tolerable because the destination. I'll get up at 6 a.m. for this, right? I don't enjoy getting up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. to do inventory.
Right.
But if I'm doing the teaching the course, if I'm doing class week, I'll get up at 2 a.m. for that.
Right.
Because of the destination.
Yeah.
And so, you definitely you have to enjoy the process and the journey, because the destination is not promised.
Right.
But you also have to have a destination that you actually care about, or else the destination just feels like you're walking in mud the entire time.
Yeah.
Like people don't like getting up early until they're getting up early going to Disneyland. Then it's like, oh yeah, let's go.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're going to Disneyland. So the journey, you love the journey. But if I have to get up at 5 a.m. to go to the DMV, no, I don't want to do this.
Right.
This journey sucks because I'm going to the DMV.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the carrot does matter. And I know, the whole thing with the carrot is you'll never actually get it because it's just dangling there. But what's in front of you definitely matters. Even if it's not promised, you have to create that for yourself. And then you fall in love with the journey. Don't let someone else create that end. You create what you want and then go after it. Then you fall in love with the journey. But if you're, day in and day out and you're like, this journey sucks, it may be because the end destination sucks. Maybe you weren't the one that created the end destination. Maybe you should kind of reconfigure on what that should be, even if it's not promised, because tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
That was partially music for a bit, where it's like, I don't know what the end journey looks like. I have no idea what the end goal is here. And so the journey seems kind of not irrelevant, but it's like, I don't really know where I'm going. This person pushed me this way, so I glided that way. This person pushed me this way, so I kind of steered in that direction. I'm kind of like a boat that just whatever wind and direction it drifts me, that's where I go.
Yeah.
I don't really have an end destination. And so I had to change the end destination. I had to change the goal, move the target. Now I enjoy the journey.
Okay.
And on that note.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be it for today, folks.
Yeah.
So, So, again, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to, visit our website or, I don't know, I guess subscribe or whatever, wherever you're watching this. All right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. All right. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Thanks.